God, would you stand as we sing our departing song?
Before we sing our departing song, I'm going to ask you to be seated again. And I'm going to ask Susan Tucker to come and say a few words to us on behalf of the personnel committee.
And I'm going to ask Chris and Jessica Thacker to join me up here this morning. And as they're coming, I want to note that our sanctuary flowers today are given in honor of our pastor with appreciation for his 10 years of service here at Emmanuel. If you want to see the flowers that John and Sharon Moore gave, you need to be here next Sunday. Chris and Jessica, something very, very good happened 10 years ago here at Emmanuel. It was then that Chris and Jessica and young Jack Thacker joined their lives with ours when Chris accepted the call to become our pastor. Since that time, Henry and Simon have joined the family. Chris, you certainly are a good pastor and a good preacher. I think better than Apollos. So Sunday after Sunday, you challenge both our hearts and our minds with sermons that urge us to experience God's grace and live out His love in the world. You have the rare ability to bring fresh insights to familiar text. We are glad that you embrace our diversity and that you encourage us to do the same. We find you all around, pitching in where you're needed, painting the game room, salvaging items from the flood, participating in silly skits. You're a good listener, an encourager, a wise counselor. The list goes on and on, but I've got to tell you, at the top of it, you had the good sense to marry Jessica. Jessica is an accomplished professional in her own right, an extraordinary teacher of persons of all ages. She's a quick thinker. She has a wonderful sense of humor. We see her creative talents in her photographs and posts on our Emmanuel Facebook page. And any of us that have enjoyed our first-class children's theater program, TAG, appreciates Jessica as the co-founder, coordinator, and director of TAG. And if you need more, just listen to her sing. Together, Chris and Jessica are role models for us in both marriage and parenting. Not because they do it perfectly, but because they are consistent in their striving to do it right, and they're vulnerable enough to admit that it's not always easy. It was a very good day 10 years ago when Chris and Jessica came to be part of our church family. Chris, Jessica, Jack, Henry, Simon, for all these reasons and so many more, we love you